Today on Doug and Lisa, we get very sparkly.
And Doug is finally back home from his journeys abroad.
And Lisa's back from Vancouver with a sparkle in her eye and on tape. We'll tell you about that coming up on the show.
And
we touch on some serious topics, including bullying, teens, and mental health issues with some of BC's most influential women. Plus, author and singer Kristal Barrett as a special musical guest with her new song, Sparkle. All of that and a dance party coming up on Doug and Lisa.
Welcome to the show. We're back in the studio. I'm back in town.
You are back, finally. He was gone for like 6 months, it felt like.
Only 3 weeks, only 3 weeks. But we still had a great show last week, despite me not actually being here.
Yes, we did.
So that was pretty cool. You did a lot of work getting ready.
I did. Irish Rovers.
The Irish Rovers on the show, that was pretty cool for me, personally, childhood, big fan growing up, and to meet George Miller like that was awesome.
And sing with him.
And we sang with them a little bit, so that was cool too.
And it didn't end there either.
It didn't end there, no, because we didn't show this on last week's show, but knowing that I was going on a trip to Ireland, Lisa asked George for some challenges that I could try. Some dares that I should undertake while I was in Ireland.
And how do you think you did, Doug?
Not too bad, but I think, well, let's let the viewers judge.
Okay.
Doug, I know you're going to Ireland, so I do have a couple of little quests for you. One of them, you must go to Bushmills, which is about 30 miles from Ballymena, where I was born, and on a good day you could smell it in the air, the whiskey. So you must go there and drink some pure Irish whiskey as it comes out of the big copper kettles. They'll give you a little bit, but you need to take this much to make it. So you need to try that.
Well, there you can see it. Old Bushmills single malt. We are down here at Old Bushmills, the original distillery from 1608. Okay, well, George's challenge is to take a sip of the pure. So in we go. There it is. The 12-year-old Bushmills, as recommended by the barkeep here. Okay, George, well, here we go, bottoms up. Oh, wow. That's really good. Smooth, a little smoky.
Once again, thanks for asking.
Well, now I'm feeling very special. The 21-year-old Bushmills here. It's aged in sherry and Madeira casks, 2 separate batches for 19 years, and then put together in a bourbon cask? I don't know. Other way around. Okay, anyway, 21-year-old. Look at that clarity on that. I can't believe it. Oh. Now that is smoothness. That is just brilliant. That's something. 21-year-old. Okay. I suppose they probably sell bottles of it here. That's so good. Okay, George. I know I completed the dare, but you win this one for sure.
Other thing that is a little bit more scary and frightening is called Carrick-a-Reed Bridge, and it's right beside the Giant's Causeway, and it's a bridge that's been there about 200 years, and you must walk across it. And a guide will actually take you in case you fall, and it's only about 600 feet into the Atlantic Ocean, but it's quite nice.
Hey Lisa, well, here we are, the first of George Miller from the Irish Rovers challenges. We are on the North Antrim coast, and we have driven along, and we have come to Carrick-a-Reed, which is that bridge right there, the rope bridge that crosses over. So, well, here we go. It's a long way down to the water below. But you know, whoa, it's got a bit of a bounce. Look at the beautiful coast here. Let's just look at the beautiful coast and not look down. Okay, I'm liking it. It's a bit wobbly. Absolutely beautiful. Breathtaking scenery. Heart-stopping scenery, really. There we go. Okay, challenge number 1 done. Thanks, George.
And the third thing you must do is go to Dunluce Castle, which is also in the same area. It's an old ruins of a castle, and you must go there at night by yourself and just listen to the ghosts in the walls. So there's your 3 quests. I was good up until the ghosts.
And go.
Well, here we are, and old castle. As you can see, it's nighttime. Oh boy, I'm not so sure about this.
2 stories. The first story is that the people who died when the part of the castle collapsed and fell into the sea.
When was that?
That was sometime in the 16th century. Apparently everybody perished except a small boy. And the story goes that they all rise from their watery graves at night, haunt the area, and then go back to the watery graves the following morning.
I don't like the sounds of it.
No. So if you could be driving along there at night and goodness knows what you would see. And the other story concerns 2 soldiers who apparently died while on active duty, and their spirits haunt the place now.
So would you go in there at night by yourself?
I don't know. I think I would like to have a go at it, but it would be a big thing to have to drive up here and do it. You know, saying it in daylight, I'm thinking I would do it, but come night time, with the wind howling, I don't know.
So are you kidding me? You think I'm actually going to go into a haunted castle? I'm sorry, George. There's no way. I am actually, of course, just in town. And yeah, even the local guy said he wasn't sure he would spend a night in Castle Dunluce. So with that dare, you got me. I got 2 out of 3. It's the best I could do. You win.
You did trick me with the whole wall thing. I'm like, oh, he's in a castle. No, you were on the road.
I was on the road by a wall of a castle-like building, but there's no way I was going to go in Castle Dunluce after the tour guide told me about all those ghosts. Forget it. Okay, ghosts are out of the picture, okay? Like, I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm not going to
You don't believe in ghosts?
I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm not going to hang out in a haunted castle. Figure that
doesn't
one
make
out.
any
Okay,
sense.
but I did make up for it, I think, with this other challenge that you gave me when we went across the Irish Sea into Scotland.
Yep.
And of course, the national dish question
Haggis.
came up, so we'll go with a haggis.
Tell me, what have we got on the plate here
You've
today?
got haggis, black pudding, fried egg, potato scone, or totty scone as we know it colloquially, hash brown to make you feel at home, pork link sausage, baked beans, and bacon.
So which one's the haggis here?
This one here. The best tasting thing on the plate.
The what?
The best tasting piece of the breakfast.
Can I ask what's in it, or should I?
Yeah, it's got lamb's liver, lamb kidney, lamb heart, oatmeal, and some seasonings.
Is this your special recipe?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Actually, I was out this morning and caught it on the hillside. I got it.
Hunting the wild haggis, right?
Indeed.
All right, well,
I hope
here.
you enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Are you like your southern cousins, I suppose? Do you take maple syrup on your bacon?
Not always, but sometimes.
Would you like some?
I'm good without it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, enjoy.
All right, well, here we go. This is the world-renowned haggis here in Berwick upon Tweed. So let's go in here, see that. All those tasty ingredients, steaming and warm. Oh, it smells quite good. All right, well, here we go.
How did you lose your bank?
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, I was skeptical, but it's got a nice softness to it and a nice spiciness to it. It's quite peppery. Well, I would recommend it if you're in Berwick upon Tweed. Stop by for the haggis. Delicious.
You really made your way around.
Honestly, it was delicious. I really liked that.
It
I thought was good.
actually looked pretty good.
It was pretty good. I would eat a haggis again. One of those. I wrote the brand name down. I don't remember what it is right now, but that's the one I'll order.
Well, somebody said something about a blood something that you
the
have.
black sausage.
That's what I was.
I didn't like the black sausage.
But that's not.
It tasted like blood.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
disgusting. But you didn't just go to Ireland and Scotland.
No.
You also went to England.
Went all the way down to London. That's where we flew out of, and we got to meet. Well, it wasn't exactly a challenge because this was a pleasant thing to do. I got to meet the young man that you had a hand in raising, the little boy that when she was over in England that she was the nanny to, the little darling boy.
He was 10 when I was a nanny. And I didn't know if it was going to work out, but I actually got a little emotional when you guys sent me the video of him all grown up. So
that's right. We got a chance to connect with the young man that he's grown into now.
And spread lies.
And spread lies. A few lies.
Hey Lisa, hey everybody. Well, we're here in London, and we're at Covent Garden, in a beautiful spot in London, and I'm actually waiting for a friend of yours, Lisa, the little boy that you took care of, one of them when you were working here in London, Ed, and he's going to meet us here. Oh hi, are you Ed?
Hi Lisa, how you doing?
Wow, you're not a little boy.
No, grown up a little bit since Lisa looked after me when I was younger.
So how old were you when she took care of you?
Probably about 10, I think. So
10.
about 15 years ago.
Wow. So how old are you anyway, Lisa? Wow. Oh, okay, sorry. So tell me a little bit of what it's like with Lisa looking after you.
It was awful. She was nasty. She pulled me around by my ears, hit me a lot. No, it was good fun. So she had us. She looked after us, and we had a tiny little dog who's about 13 now. And she used to hate the dog. But then I think she ended up getting a little dog herself called Barrett a long time ago. But yeah, no, it was good. So it seems like a long time ago though now.
So now you're living and working in London?
Yeah, I've been living here for nearly a year now. Left Bath when I was 18, went to live up north in England, and then moved back down here to get a proper job, I guess. Yeah.
So what's something, because Lisa's done stuff like call my mom and get, sort of the dirt on me a little bit. So I wonder if there's anything you can help me with, anything, I could hold over her, use against her.
Well, when Lisa was looking after us in Bath, or in our little village called Vloten, she had a friend called Tim, and they were on one of those spring-loaded like seesaws. I think Lisa fell off and it flung up and hit her and smashed her jaw to pieces. She had to have it wired, which is actually really good because it shut her up for a couple of weeks.
Oh, I'm glad he said that, not me. Well, this is so cool. And Ed's been showing us around a little bit of London. It's been a fantastic tour. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Well, it's been great to see you. And Lisa, we'll see you over here next.
He gave us a really nice tour of London, a nice gentleman, despite apparently your best efforts to... Okay, just kidding.
He was like, okay, I did a lot for those kids, so...
No, he said great things about you off camera, and I edited them out, of course.
Of course he did. And while he was over in England doing all these fancy things...
Yeah, you had your work cut out for you, I guess. That little... dark edit suite over there became a second home for our Lisa.
First home. My home was a second home. So while he's running around the world, guess who was editing the show? So, Diva.
You did a great job, though. Fantastic job putting it all together. Really impressed. I mean, people watching the show might think you're just another pretty face, but you are like...
But you're the pretty face.
I'm the pretty face. You do all the work. If I'm the pretty face, we're in real trouble. But anyway, no, you did a ton of work.
I did get a chance to go to Vancouver, though.
That's right. And that's kind of a big part of this show.
It's kind of the whole part of the show, because...
The Sparkle Project. Now, this was a really cool event that you got to dress up all fancy at in the fanciest hotel in town.
Hi, I'm Lisa Riddle. I'm at the Shangri-La, looking very fancy with all my fancy stuff. I'm here for the book launch of Sparkle. Okay, so an exciting night for you?
Yes, very much.
I'm with Kristal. She's one of the authors of the book. And tell us a little bit about what's inside here.
It's actually, I interviewed over 30 of BC's most inspirational women, and I basically got them to be vulnerable and talk about their challenges that they had as young girls. And they also offer their success strategies and their sparkle tips. So it's really unique, and just to kind of offer comfort and support to young girls, to let them know that we've all been there and look at where we are now.
I found a special lady in the house who's responsible for the making of Kristal, who made the book. So you basically wrote this book.
Kinda.
If you really think about it.
Yeah, really.
Your daughter, what do you think of her book?
It's awesome. She's been wanting to do this since she was a teenager.
What was she like as a teenager?
She had a tough time. High school is very difficult.
Yeah. I think everybody goes through some awkward high school situations, and that's kind of what I talked about with these women at this event. So let's go take a look at some of their answers to what they went through in high school and how they overcame it.
I got teased a lot for my hair.
What?
Yep.
What part?
Before flat irons and curling iron knowledge, I had naturally ringlet curly hair, and they called me poodle power. Well, I'd say girls were very mean, I guess.
Why would any girl be mean to you? Oh wait, because you're gorgeous?
Life was very different back in high school. When you're not typical, you always wonder what's wrong with you.
I wasn't so much bullied when I was young. I have 5 older brothers, so there wasn't a chance they were bullying me. But my daughter was bullied in school in grade 6. And she was bullied because she had a mole, and she was the new child in the North Shore. We came from Kerrisdale. And I went to the principal and I said, this is absolutely unacceptable. And I wondered what he would do about it. And he didn't quite know what to do at the time. So I told him what to do. I met with the parents, I met with the kids, they apologized. Katie was fine after that. There was no excuse for being bullied.
I had problems just being myself, like growing up as a teenager and just being myself. And now that I feel that I'm this confident mother, I want to set an example for my kids, all of my kids. And I overcame it just by finding myself. It sounds so cheesy, but it's so true.
When I was in elementary school, I was bigger than a lot of the other girls were, and that was really hard. It was really hard. My strategy was be as nice as you can to people, because no one can be mean to someone who's nice, and unfortunately it didn't really work. It was definitely, I wouldn't want to go back. I'll put it that way.
When I was little, my mom would make me have sleepovers with the people I was fighting with. She'd call their moms in, and I would be stuck with them overnight. I was like, this is horrible. But by the end of the night...
I had a few of those, yeah. By the end of it, your friends.
Your friends.
Yeah.
You know, I think as teenagers, we're all insecure, and we don't really need to be. I wasn't given a reason to be insecure as a teenager, but I was.
Pretty girls do get bullied a lot, and lots of people say, oh, well, she can handle it because, you know, she's got everything going on. But sometimes the pretty girls suffer the most because no one has empathy for them.
Yeah, and I have a heart. I'm very sensitive, and those people really did a number on my self-esteem and confidence, and it sucked. But you know what? It's hard. I've kind of struggled with letting it go, and I have now. But it was difficult to get through, and it's affected me, you know, as you go through your life, because I was nice to so many different people, and I try to be nice to everybody, but I didn't get that in return. So
after the fact, you know, years later for me, I did get a lot of apologies from people that said, you know, I'm really sorry for being mean to you because I was actually going through something myself.
I'm still waiting for those apologies, so if you'd like to write me a letter to lisarettle@gmail.com. I would say it was getting with the wrong crowd and trying to stay true to who I was, because it's in there, right? It's tiny, and it's just like the spark has dimmed to this tiny, tiny light, and it's trying to figure out how you can listen to that and not get caught up with people that don't serve you well at all, and it really messes with you. You are who you flock with, right? You are who you flock with. Lots of people are naysayers. They tell you, oh, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, and people try to get you off your path. How did you get past all that adversity in high school and become a productive, beautiful, successful woman?
You know, I sank into the naysayers, and I lived it and I breathed it for a very long time. And I think that in order for you to know what it's like to have that balance, because everyone wants that balance, it's a buzzword, right. You have to know what it's like to have everything and nothing. So when you know what it's like to have nothing, suddenly everything seems like a possibility.
I am currently just wrapped a web series, so that's exciting.
Oh, what's it called?
It's called Electra Woman and Dinah Girl, and I get to play a superhero, so that's exciting.
Are you going to use your poodle power for your superhero?
Oh, for sure. I was out to here.
You're like, poodle power. And then all of a sudden your hair just puffs up into ringlets.
Totally, and kills them all. Kills them all.
Yeah.
And as far as sparkliness goes, totally over it. You know, I'm just going to continue being who I am. I was born with an inner sparkle, and that's why Kristal, the author, and I are such good friends.
Yeah.
It's because it's just, we want to help people and love people and empower people.
I want to talk a bit about what guys face, because it's all about what women are going through in high school and stuff like that. But what was your high school like?
Well, I mean, I guess a lot different from from today. I was obviously back in the 60s and 70s.
1860s.
So, the 1860s. So yeah, horse-drawn carriages and the like. But, I mean, I think guys probably face a lot of similar things, but it comes at it from a different direction. You know, there's still body issues. You know, like if you're really, really skinny, you're going to get picked on. If you're overweight, you're going to get picked on. Those things. If you stand out in some way.
How does it affect guys differently than girls, though?
Well, I think that guys, a lot of time it tends to be, it can often be more of a direct confrontation, more of a physical kind of thing.
And the girls just are like,
oh
my gosh, this girl.
There seems to be a lot of sort of circling and pack mentality, whereas guys tends to be a little bit more, you know, confrontational perhaps, more physical. It was certainly very physical when I was growing up, and we lived in a small town, and when we went to high school, we actually had to take a boat across. So we were, you know, it was like a busload of kids on a boat with like no supervision.
Where was this?
On Texade Island.
Where's that?
It's off the coast by Paul River. We had to go to high school in Paul River, so we took the boat across. So there'd be all these kids on the boat with no adult supervision. So, I mean, there was...
And Doug was a bully, so...
You really gonna phone her?
I'm calling her.
I'm calling my mom. We got this. She's good. My mom is...
Hello?
Anna, this is Lisa, Doug's co-host.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Doug.
What was the worst thing that he ever did to make you question being his parent?
What was the worst thing he ever did?
Yeah.
One thing that made me question him was when he started grade 1, he got into a fight with just about every boy in his class.
Doug?
What?
In our time, we didn't have things like social media. Right. And I was asking some of the women, like, when you were younger and you had social media, would you have been able to get through it? Because you think about how much you were bullied or you witnessed bullying in high school when we didn't have Facebook and Instagram and these things. And some of the things that these kids are going through are crazy.
Yeah. It's definitely tough growing up, I think, now when your public image becomes the definition of you, which is extremely challenging, I think. You are not defined by what other people say about you. You are defined by the words that you tell yourself and what you give yourself permission to say, do, and be.
I can only hope that young women's brains are evolving to meet the crisis that they face in their age, and I wouldn't put it past them. That's, human beings are, you know, hardy like that, but man, yeah, they're dealing with things that I would never have wanted to. Like, this for me is very uncomfortable. Like being on film, like this is hard, but
doesn't seem like it.
Young women are born being documented and having their images shared with the whole world.
I want to just take my daughter and just find
the forest?
Yeah, find a cabin somewhere where there's like no internet connection and just keep her there.
But we can start a community.
Can we?
Like a self-sustain. I've been Googling a lot, and we can actually do this. We can get our own water system going.
Okay, be careful, because that's actually my husband's in construction, and that's actually his dream. So be careful.
What is it like, you know, knowing you're raising a daughter in this day and age, and how are you going to deal with that with the social media?
That's the scariest part for me, and I don't know.
So she's scared too.
She's scared.
She's scared of Instagram.
Yeah, it's bad sometimes.
So bad.
I feel so just, my heart goes out to the girls these days because I feel they have so many different areas that things can kind of go wrong in, where I felt like when we were growing up, and I don't know if we're the same age, but I'm just going to go there.
32.
33, fabulous. There was no texting. I had like a pager.
And bullying was face-to-face. The thing with all these like online forums and stuff is like you can say whatever you want with no accountability. And back in our day, we had to be like, I don't like you. Or
like, most of us didn't have the courage to do that, so we didn't.
I could be bullied and I'm like, oh, well, I get through this, is fine. But as a mother, the thought of somebody hurting my child or saying something mean to my child, how do you cope with that kind of thing?
Well, I've experienced it, and having a gap between my girls. 10 years ago, we did not have the internet. So I can honestly say now it is much harder to raise girls because of the internet and because of what happens on social media.
When we were younger, the things that we had to worry about seemed like a huge deal, but can you imagine that with social media involved?
Well, it seemed like it was just the school, right? And now there's this whole online world that can really bother me too if I put myself out there.
Do you think you would have survived it?
No, I think I would be really embarrassed today if Instagram or Facebook were around. And I think about, I remember having girls phoning me and bullying me, sitting on my bed with my phone with this like 30-foot cord, and these girls going, you better watch out at school tomorrow. So I couldn't imagine social media where it's like follows you everywhere in your phones, and no.
I think I would have survived it, but I don't think I would have survived it well.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't have Facebook growing up. So glad. I've said that often.
Snapchat?
Yeah, all of that. I mean, it's too dangerous. So I think the best thing to do is just ignore all the...
Power off.
Yeah, power off.
There's no obligation to have your cell phone on. You have no obligation to be wired. You can turn off Facebook, you can turn off your computer, you can turn off your cell phone. You don't have to text anybody, you don't have to respond to a text. Girls these days are programmed to think that they have to be connected, and that's not true, and it's actually often very negative to be that connected.
Hold on a second, someone's texting me. Just kidding.
Oh. You're funny.
I have 3 girls. And if that can't inspire you to want to teach your kids how to love themselves.
How old are they?
16, 18, and 27.
And how did you survive the teen years?
Barely.
As much as you want to insulate her, I also recognize that this is the world that we live in. And as much as you think that the best thing to do is to keep her from that, really the best thing to do is to empower her so that when she's faced with the online stuff that happens.
She's not a feral child.
Well, or yes.
She just came out of the wilderness.
You need to have a very strong family and be able to take them away from that and show them what's important in life. And honestly, I've always told my girls, it doesn't matter what other people think. You want to surround yourself with people that love you and give you that positive energy.
Did you like that?
It's really good.
What I really liked about this whole experience and this whole Sparkle book is just, a lot of these women that are in this book are, BC's,
The famous women, well known.
Tamara Taggart and Jillian Harris and Erin Sabula, a number of women. And, in the normal world, those women could be competing against each other.
Right.
And what I really liked about this concept is it's helping young girls, but it's also brought a bunch of powerful women into one room together to talk about issues that they all face, and I thought that was pretty cool.
That's great. Now, you got some tips, some specific tips from those women for young girls?
Be your own best friend. That's the best thing that I could have done for myself and for my life, and if I can tell any youth or young girls, just be kind to yourself, be your own best friend, because then you know yourself.
There's always going to be people out there that, don't agree with what you're doing. And I'm fortunate enough to have really strong parents and 2 really strong sisters that have told me that, no one cares, don't care about what people think.
Be yourself. Be yourself. Be confident. Be yourself. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be crazy. Just be yourself.
Read a lot. Get
not from your
not
phone.
On the internet.
Books.
Read books.
Paper books.
Get actual information.
Go to the library.
Written by real journalists. Real journalists.
Yeah.
Not internet writers.
No, like me. What other tips do you have for girls to sparkle?
Just shine. Don't be afraid to show who you are, because people really like the vulnerability and your authentic self.
Perfectly said.
Why be competitive when you want to win and I want to win, so let's try and do it together.
We need to be putting positive things out there online. They need to know that they have...
Like Doug and Lisa.
And the Sparkle Project. And Fashionpreneur TV. And that there's just an awful lot of people that are doing good things, right? And to follow those sort of patterns and trends instead of getting caught up in drama.
I think that the biggest piece of advice is to surround yourself with really amazing friends who see you for who you are and you feel you can be yourself with, because it's those people that are going to remind you about who you really are, and that all that other stuff really doesn't matter.
It's not important.
It's really not. And when you're in it, it's hard to truly believe that. But when you've got a group of friends who truly are your friends, they're not the people that you want to be friends with or you think you should be friends with. The people who are truly your friends, who love you, they're the ones that help to keep you anchored and grounded and help to remind you that all that stuff doesn't matter.
A lot of the times the people that bully you are people that are being bullied themselves, or people that are insecure with themselves and have to make other people feel bad.
When you have
nothing, you are forced to look inside. And if you do not like what you see, then that's when you start making very big decisions for yourself. How do I make myself into the kind of person that I want to look in the mirror at every day?
And what kind of person is that for Emily Chow?
I want to be able to empower people to feel like they're in control of their life, and that they can want all the things they've ever wanted, and to know that the future is never as far away as you think, so to make it happen now.
TikTok.
If they can make it through high school and do it without doing drugs.
No drugs.
No drugs. Say no to drugs. If they
Seriously.
can do that, they've got it made, because on the other side of high school is when life begins.
Sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, oh God, like I look so fat, I look so, you know, so that still is a problem, but you know, you are who you are. And my biggest message to people is high school ends.
One sentence tip for girls that are going to be on Instagram.
That are going to be on Instagram. Remember, what you're posting is going to be on there forever.
Forever.
Forever and ever.
Think before you post.
Forever and ever.
Now, I guess another big issue that both men and women face is mental health, and that's been in the forefront of the media quite a bit lately.
Which is, it's about time, because mental health issues, I mean, it's been a stigma attached to it for so many years.
Right.
And now, because of the, you know, some big celebrities going through issues, you know, Robin Williams' death, things like that, it's starting a conversation that's really important.
And then some local celebrities were involved in continuing that conversation locally, and that was quite recently. You had a chance to go to that as well, right?
I did Women in Wellness. It was at the Bottega. You've been there before?
Yep.
It's amazing, I mean, you drive in and there's llamas, and it's just like this beautiful resort up in Southeast Kelowna. Yep. And I got a chance to talk to Mohini Singh. I used to work with her at CHBC News back in the day. And I also got to talk to your friend.
Right, Michelle Dayton-Hussey. I've known her from acting for a long time, and I know that she has a very powerful and personal and tragic story that she shared.
She did.
Okay, so we're doing a whole show about women supporting women, and this event with that we're at right now is a bunch of women together, but there's a special element to that, and we're discussing something that, you know, is sometimes not talked about. It's a stigma, and it's mental health. So just tell me what your place is here at this event.
Well, I'm here to speak mostly about my brother-in-law, who was bipolar. And who took his own life 4 years ago. And part of that was just the stigma around being a male in this society and not having a regular job and a regular life, what he thought was regular. But even more personally, I suffered from postpartum depression when I was, after my second child was born. And like many people, I didn't ask for help. And I think that there's just this idea that you're going to be judged as crazy or incompetent or somehow like, why can't you just snap out of it and suck it up and get over it? And it's just not that simple. I was lucky that I did eventually pull myself out of it without treatment, but so many people don't seek treatment and really desperately need it.
Did you get yourself out of it because you recognized that you were postpartum and so you took the steps to get over it?
Correct, yeah.
And what did you do?
I did a variety of things. I did a lot of yoga. I spent a lot of time really caring for myself and talking to people who were supportive of me. And I really did a lot. I did a lot of visualization, just telling myself that this is a feeling, but it doesn't really mean anything. You're panicking, but there's no panic happening. And I was able to sort of talk myself through it. But I think that's unusual. I don't think most people can do that, so they need to ask for professional help.
Right. And why do you think it's so important for us women to be talking about things like mental health?
I think it's that connection we make with each other when we realize we're not alone. I think for me, at the time when I had my second child, my oldest son is on the autism spectrum. I had a second baby. My world fell apart. I think that was all part and parcel of what I was experiencing, but I was also really isolated being at home alone. And I didn't have anyone I could reach out to that I knew had a similar experience. Once you realize that you're not alone, that there are other people who've experienced what you are going through, you feel like, okay, it's okay, I'm going to get through this, and it gives you that little bit of hope to hang on to. So it's really important to make those connections. Yeah.
And as an attendee last year, when you left here, what feelings did you have arriving, and what feelings did you have leaving?
I was really excited to be here. I didn't know what to expect, but I think that conversation about mental health is so important, and that was the message that was sort of delivered over and over again last year, was that we have to talk about it, we have to speak it out, we can't just hide it and pretend it's not there and sweep it under the carpet, because it's not going to go away. And just that idea that stigma is still so attached to mental illness, and how important it is to sort of address that head on.
When I see like on with celebrities and things like that, lots of times the paparazzi and stuff will get so involved in you know, making a spectacle out of mental health. You know, with Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes and these women in Hollywood, when we should be, you know, finding ways to help people like that. And I think that's kind of shed a light on how serious mental health issues can affect people in Hollywood. It can affect anybody.
Anyone, yeah, correct. And I think we do, it's still sort of that, oh, like, what a crazy person, look what they're doing. But if it's a significant mental illness, if it's clinical, it's not as simple as that. And that judgment piece of the puzzle really needs to be removed. I think it's really important for people to start talking and being open and sharing their own stories and sharing their family stories, because there aren't very many people out there who haven't been touched in some way, whether it's 1 degree removed or in their immediate family or circle of friends, by mental health issues.
Right, and people will see people like yourself, if they say, oh, you know, she's beautiful and all put together, nothing could possibly be wrong with her life. And for you to be able to step up and talk about your own personal struggles and your family struggles, then people can say, oh, wait a second, you know, if it's happening to her too, and people can relate with you.
Yeah, I think that's a really important piece of that puzzle. It's not something you can help. You don't choose it, but you can't just snap out of it either. And things can be going on underneath the surface for people that we think they have it all together, but they may really be struggling. So being able to identify those signs as well is really important. So that sort of public education about what to look for and what to say if you see someone or know someone who you think is struggling or you suspect is struggling.
As human beings, Lisa, we're all very, very fragile. It doesn't take much for a human being to crack, so to speak.
What about counseling? Because I hear so many times stories of people going to get help, going to the hospital, and, you know, going to the hospital with depression and suicidal thoughts and being turned away.
It's one thing that falls strictly in the lap of the provincial government under the Interior Health Authority. It's the Health Authority's responsibility to provide that level of care for people who need it. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. But I have to tell you, as a civic leader, as a city councillor, I take into account the mental well-being of our citizens when making a decision. Recently, I had a gentleman come to see me. He talked about something that did not affect me per se, and there was nothing I could do, but I sat for an hour and a half and I talked to him, and all I did was talk. I listened to him. He was really agitated when he first came. He left with a smile on his face. So I think if I, as a human being, can do one thing, is to not judge, but listen and support those who need our help. That's the best I can do. Of course, as a civic leader, there are issues that come to the table. We can deal with them differently. But at all times, never forget the people we are serving and the impact it could have on someone's mental well-being.
Let's talk women for a second. Why do you think it's important to have a big room full of women all talking about mental health under one roof?
You know, the statistics are alarming. 1 in 5 of us is going to deal with a mental health issue. It doesn't take a lot for a person to snap. Something big could happen in your family, and it could make us crack. Losing a child, divorce, financial ruin, all these things. You know, some of us could survive that, some may just snap. And it's important for us to talk. We talk to each other and not judge, because we all have our little demons we are fighting. Not judge, support each other to overcome any kind of mental upheaval, emotional upheaval we may be facing. Because you don't know, when you meet the next person on the road, you don't know what that person's going through.
As a leader in the community, what do you think your suggestion is for when you do come across people who are clearly needing some sort of help, man? Like, is there something that we can do?
As a society, sure there is. You find out what his needs are, see if there's any agency that could help him. You know what? In fact, I can guarantee you, you stop, you talk to him, get him a cup of coffee, you made his day right there. You've given him the strength to move forward. But if you want to move forward with him, see what his immediate needs are, see if there's anything you can do. I think we collectively as a society can do a lot to help each other and pick each other up, and also, you know, give each other the strength to move on the person's own steam. And it doesn't cost anything. Just stretch yourself a little bit, and that helps build a healthy community, healthy city, healthy province, healthy country.
Healthy world.
Healthy world. I think in many ways we trivialize it too, because we say, oh, I'm so depressed. You know, that dress doesn't fit me. You know, that's not depression. This is a serious issue. And I think now we're talking more about it. You see more celebrities come forward and admit to their mental health issues. That makes it real, so other people realize that they're not alone.
Mm-hmm. They can have that connection.
They can have that connection, correct.
And how can we be better women to each other?
Don't judge. It's easy to say, hard to do. But seriously, don't judge. Because we're all fighting our own little struggles in life and just trying to make our way best we can.
Advice for young girls. I know in our time there wasn't all the social media and Facebook and all these things. What is your advice for kids that are going through things like online bullying? And you know, how can we show them there is a light at the end of the tunnel?
Look, I have a 14-year-old daughter. I know exactly what you're talking about. Online bullying can be so damaging, so damaging. Look what happened in the Lower Mainland with Amanda Todd. These little things can have a bad, even a little bit of bullying can have a bad impact on a young woman's self-esteem. You have to encourage them to be strong, pull up their socks, ignore the bullying. Easier said than done, but show them that they themselves are very strong, beautiful people. And the people who are doing the bullying, you actually have to feel sorry for them, because what they're doing is harmful to you, but at the same time they're so weak. The only thing they have that gives them pleasure is by being mean to someone else. So, and I had to do that with my daughter too. I mean, she's 14, she's young, she's beautiful, and very sensitive. And that's a very vulnerable age, between 14 to 18. And we have to catch the girls there and let them know they are strong, they're beautiful inside and out, and they needn't put up with all that.
As adults, I know a lot of the television programming out there has things like American Idol and all these shows on TV that, you know, we're going on and doing all these anti-bullying campaigns, but then we're watching adults bullying other adults, like the Real Housewives and things like that.
Yeah, no, you're right.
How can we tell kids to not bully, and when we're not being the examples ourselves?
And there are mixed messages there, right? And one of the things you just have to say, it's just a show, ignore it. Stuff like that sells, so there will continue to be shows like that. You can only be true to yourself, I can be true to myself.
How do you get your daughter to not lead by that example and to lead by your example?
Just tell her that's just showmanship. Ignore it. Laugh it off.
And does she?
She has learned. She did have a few rough months, but she has learned. You know, but it's heartbreaking when you see your child struggling because she's being bullied for some silly little reason. It could be her new haircut, but for her it's a big deal. And you just have to talk your child through it. And you have to talk her friends through it too. One parent can't be all things to their child. So you have to realize the world is a bigger place, and you have to take in your friends, your children's friends too, and teach them to stand up to anything that's negative.
It takes a village, right?
It takes a village to raise a child.
All right. Thank you, Mohini.
Well, important stuff, great stuff.
A little heavy.
A bit of a heavy show, but it's important that we talk about these kind of things.
It
but
is.
You know what else is important?
Singing.
Singing. A little bit of music.
Is very important.
And the cool thing is that Kristal, the author of Sparkle, is joining us in the studio to perform herself. She's actually a musician, right?
She is a singer, and Carolyn Dawn Johnson, famous country music singer, helped Kristal produce this next song coming up.
Here's Kristal with her song Sparkle.
Not that long ago,
I love her. She's just like, it was so funny because at the event, when I was interviewing all those women, I was like, so how do you know Kristal? And every girl, I swear, was like, oh, well, she's my best friend.
So tell me about how you got involved with the book, Lindsay.
Well, my best friend is actually Kristal Barrett, and she...
What?
Yep.
She's my best friend.
No. So Kristal has a lot of best
Kristal
friends.
is everybody's best friend.
Yeah.
That's great. That's fantastic.
So you could be our friend.
You could be our friend. You could friend us or follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, facebook.com/Doug and Lisa Show. We're trying to get really technical here, so we've also gone onto Periscope.
Periscope. This is super cool. You get the app. It's a free app, and you can.
I'll show you right now.
You can go live, broadcast live.
So it says like, what are
to
you?
your followers.
What are you seeing now?
All of our followers.
Camera people, camera friends.
Both our followers.
You start the broadcast, and now.
Look at that.
Look.
We're live watching you tape us live.
Us.
Oh, this is high tech.
And then you double click, and then it's back on us.
Back on us, which is more.
So that's through. Yeah. So swipe. Stop this.
Stop it.
Stop it. So
Periscope. Check us out on Periscope.
Yeah, it's on Twitter too. So you can find us on Twitter at Doug and Lisa Show. We haven't really been active, but we are going to get better at it. That's my goal.
That's your goal. Good, because you're like the.
I'm good at Facebook.
Web guru. You're good at Facebook.
That's what it.
That's it. Okay. That's better than me.
And if you guys have any kind of talent or something that you want to contribute to our show.
Yeah, we're looking for comedians, musicians, singers, jugglers, high wire acts. High wire acts?
Sure. Why not? Anything.
You can bring them up in here.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
Yeah. We've got some big news coming up next week too, which we won't share yet, but it's top secret, and it includes our show.
Our show?
Don't make us dance.
Is it time to dance?
It's time to dance.
That's it for our show. Yeah, we're done sitting here talking. It's time to dance like nobody's watching.
It's time to dance.
What? Where'd everybody go?
Doug and Lisa provided by Shaper Salon in Kelowna.
5, 4, can't get 3, the clamp. 2. And giving advice
how they
on
got through it.
How you get through it, and how to, and so should we have a look at some of those conversations now?
No.
No. What are we doing?
We can cut right there.
Yeah, you guys heading out?
We're good to go.
So good evening.
Thank you so much. Excuse me, we have an interview to do here.
Thank you.
I'm just imitating you. Bye.
Like, do semi-lunges or anything like that?
Who's that? I don't know. But
okay.
But we'll know soon.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. When we're getting a restraining order.
Honestly, feels so much better when you're doing links, when you're just doing life, and you don't care about what anybody else thinks. It's
all I'm thinking the whole time you're talking is that I want to just cut your hair off at your scalp and then wear it.
So many people say that inside. They love it.
Is that creepy to say to somebody?
Yeah.
So I'm a writer, I'm a ghostwriter, I'm an editor.
Ghostwriter, ghostwriter, more than meets the eye, ghostwriter. They're like, where are our barrels?
Yes, they're gonna be looking for him any second now.
Oh. No, I thought it was gonna be like a big green speck or something, and I was like, but I didn't eat anything green, so I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh.
But don't you hate it when you're with a bunch of girls or anybody and you're gabbing all night and then you go to the bathroom and you got something in your teeth?
Yes, I hate that. It's the worst.
Rude.
Yeah. It's rude. Yeah. I'd rather have the sheer second of being slightly embarrassed than have the hour of being totally embarrassed.
And you're like laughing so hard.
Yeah, you're like,
because then you picture all the things that you did and you're like, it's like 10 times worse than what actually happened. You're like, you know what I mean?
I broke it.
Okay. We broke the internet?
I broke the camera.
It's going again? Okay.
I broke it.
We broke it.
I have that thing. I break glasses and cameras.
I break everything. Mostly hearts. Just kidding, I'm married. Okay, what attracted you to this topic in particular?
I mean, like if you have a uterus, you probably have, right? You're probably attracted to this cause.
I was always a neutral.
There you go.
There you go. I'm a stronger person because of it.
You know, back in our time, we didn't have. I'm kidding, my microphone. Oh my God, you can hear that.
Okay, stop. You're
Sorry,
hurting me.
sorry, Jonah.
You're killing him. You can hear it now because it's echoing through his skull.
I'm so sorry, Jonah.
I'll just stand about 75 feet behind her so we look like we're the same size. Like, so. There, two things are, you know, we're now the same height and we're both the same size. It's a win-win. Another woman in the book is Karen, I just gotta know, who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Caitlin.
Hashtag ask her more, right? I will ask her more.
The future is never as far away as you think, so to make it happen now.
TikTok. Now,
oh my God.
We're aging on the spot. Melting. Did you have an I Hate Lisa club?
No, I didn't.
I did.
Did you really? I'm sorry.
I kind of deserved it. I told her a minute ago that I wanted to cut her hair off and then wear it.
And you did it in a nice way, though.
Is there a nice way to say that? I think it's creepy any way you say it. Like, the only worst thing is like if I just start smelling your hair or something.
It smells really good right now, actually.
My video is going to be showing.
My video is going to be showing.
Her video.
Just kidding, it's not.
It's on right now.
I'm just kidding. We're going to go inside.
Kristal was doing her book launch, and sorry, Dave's arms are distracting me. Okay, I'll put that at the end of the show. Well.
What? The Doug and Lisa Show is a community volunteer production. We'd like to thank all of the people and businesses for their continuing support. If you'd like to learn more about sponsorship and advertising opportunities, contact us at
DougandLisaShow@gmail.com while we wait for our $1 billion check from Dragon's Den.
What? Have you heard something?
No, but I'm still waiting for them to call.
Right, okay, yeah. So, while we're waiting...
For the $1 billion.
Here's your chance to get on the ground floor.